I call the Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Mr Speaker, I want to warmly congratulate Dr Megan Woods for, first of all, instigating this bill, recognising that in New Zealand we value democracy. It's quite a fundamental part of our culture. We shouldn't have a democratic right taken away from us without good reason. Jackie Deans, I thought as an elected constituency member you would understand the value of democracy, but clearly not. So I want to congratulate Dr Woods, first of all, for thinking of this, recognising the gap in our democratic process, and then for the sheer good luck of having the bill drawn. Not very many members get to have bills drawn. Some it's better that they don't have them drawn because the content of them is exposed. But in this case, this is a very good bill. I remember when we first had the taking away of democracy legislation introduced by Dr Nick Smith on totally false premises. Anyone who has read the Creech report would understand that the two reasons he gave for taking away our democratic right to vote were lies, misrepresentation of the Creech report, and frankly, when you've had somebody like the Honourable Wyatt Creech as a Deputy Prime Minister in the national government, you'd think he would have earned more respect from his colleagues, but they just dismissed his report and then made a whole lot of stuff up. I want to get back to those fundamental points before. I want to congratulate the elected ECAN councillors who, for the first time in 6 years, were elected in the last local body election. The member who's just resumed his seat said that Ngāi Tahu are unable to have a strong relationship with a democratically elected organisation, and I think that's cobblers. I think that Ngāi Tahu can do pretty well anything because they are incredibly competent and incredibly passionate about their mandate of representation. They are able to have a strong relationship with a democratically elected organisation, and Dr Woods gave a very clear commitment to working with other members in this House to ensure that we did have tangata whenua representation on a democratically elected board. This is a total win-win that we could get out of this situation, and that's certainly where my vote is going. At the heart of this bill is that restoration of democracy. How could anyone in a New Zealand Parliament vote against the restoration of democracy? How is that possible? Well, no answer. As usual from the National Party, no answer. I know they're distracted this week. I know there's a lot of self-promotion and number counting going on, but I think it's a pretty fundamental question for a Member of Parliament to be answering. What is good about voting against the restoration of democracy? I doubt it. I doubt it. That member's not up to it. There were two lies, as I mentioned earlier, two lies about the removal of our democratic right. The first lie, was that ECAN was dysfunctional. I have read the Creech report, and any implications of a dysfunctional regional council were totally dismissed by Wyatt Creech in that report. Totally dismissed. The second was that ECAN failed to prepare a water plan. The 2004 draft water plan is the water plan that is now operational, that is now in effect. Both of those reasons that Nick Smith, as the Minister responsible for taking away our right to vote, gave, neither of them were correct, neither of them were true, and I challenge any member of the National Party to read the Creech report and show one single sentence that backs up the flawed arguments that Nick Smith put in place. In 2010, Nick Smith said this is going to be a short-term measure. We'll just get ECAN back on track and then you can have your votes back. Then he put in another transition to democracy plan and said another short-term measure. And then he put another short-term measure in place. When he was challenged, he said that a return to full democracy in Canterbury was too risky. He's relied on gerrymandered boundaries. He's relied on people he's appointed who are accountable to him and not to the citizens of Canterbury. And it's time for a genuine and immediate transition back to democracy in our region.